Today, we've got none other than your boy, Dondeez. He is a pastor here in LA, but he also does a bunch of really cool social media, social content. And so we want to talk to him about how he got into it, how it got started, and how he gets things done, why he does it that way. So you're going to be interested to learn on some of his tips. I'm actually going to grab him for a couple like really tangible tips. So if you're looking to start your own channel or do your own content, but you need to know how to get it going. Maybe you've got some great creative ideas, but you haven't been able to actually make it happen. This Tuesday is just for you. Dondeez is going to work us through that, and he's going to talk about a few of those things. We're also going to talk about a couple other things along the way, some of our social current issues that we're looking at today and the world around us. And next week, I want us to hang out with our girl, Lauren Laxon. She is our communications director here at Southern California Conference. She's a beast. So you're gonna really enjoy here. We're gonna talk about what it looks like to be a communication director here in the conference, what kind of work she does, how she gets all this stuff looking fresh and tight and right on. So you don't want to miss out on her. That's next week. We're gonna be talking about all kinds of stuff. And we're going to be talking about faith, so don't miss out. Before I bring on Dondeez today, I do want to take a moment and remember an individual that's been a part of our conference, a young cat. His name is Spencer Sims. If you don't know Spencer, we want to just take a moment and show Spencer some love. He was 29 years old, just an energetic, synergetic cat who was always present. He passed away a couple nights ago, just north of Vegas. They got into an accident. He and the 19-year-old driver were driving along. They spun out, and neither of them made it out of this major crash. If you've been kind of following us, you'll know that Spencer will be in our comments. He's always dropping stuff. He's always around. Maybe you've been to some of our conference events. You'll see him there. And there's a few things I could say about Spence. Spence and I didn't quite see eye to eye on a lot of stuff, on political issues, ideological issues. But you know what? Spencer always showed up. He loved coming into worship. He took in all of my sermons. We had great, deep conversations. He debated and talked, and we laughed. And if it's one thing I could say about Spencer through it all, he was always present. And maybe that's the epitome of what community looks like, to learn how to flourish and grow even while we don't agree on all things. And maybe that's a lesson we can take into our life as we honor this young guy. If you knew him, I ask you to celebrate him and pray for his family during this time of mourning. We lost quite a few others. Dr. Chambi passed away, and we had a service for him today, as well as a few others in our conference. We're always saddened to see individuals pass. But when someone so young tragically loses their life again, it is quite painful. So all of our love to you, Spencer's family. If you're watching along wherever you are, our prayers are with you. Rest easy, Spence. We'll see you in the morning. Okay, so today let's get on it and let's meet up with our guy Dondeez. Dondeez is in the house. Dondeez DeLuise, what's up, my dude? What is going on?
What is going on, people, man? There's a lot going on. Like Marvin Gaye says, what's going on?
Oh, man, right.
It's a lot going on, man.
There's something happening here. Shoot, man. Thanks for coming on, Don. What are you drinking today, my dude? Let's start there.
Bro, okay, let's start here, man. You know, I like to try to keep it good with the drinks for you. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's a place close to my house called Boba Fiend.
Get it?
And it's a strawberry peach smoothie. Lychee jelly. And just for the extra kick, I put in some kiwi strawberry sparkling little thing.
The air quality looks pretty good over there where you're at, man.
Yeah.
No fires in the air?
No fires over here. That's like out y'all's way.
No ash on the ground?
No ash on the ground. The wind has blown wherever. And we were fortunate. God bless us not to have that situation over here.
Against popular opinions, God is still blessing California. Ha! Yes, blue skies and the sun is out. It's actually had a nice cool little breeze. I know that we've been struggling through some fires and some earthquakes, but God's good, man.
That's right, man.
So Don,
all the Cali people, sorry if you're you didn't know that the earth shakes like that out here. Welcome to California.
Welcome to Cali, man. That's how we roll.
Welcome.
We call that the Dondeez shake.
That's right. Welcome.
My man. So, you have been really impressive. You do a bunch of really cool creative things, but one of the things that you've been like up on is putting out social media content, man, and you've been like, man, you've been crushing it right now. You've been putting out all kinds of stuff. Your Instagram is lit. You are on TikTok now, right?
Yeah, man. I made the.
You ain't too old for TikTok. You're never too old for TikTok.
I thought I was too old, but there's an interesting story, because my son, because you have to have a phone number in order to do the chat on there. And so my son took my phone number and made his own account. And so it's been like 3 months for me to try to get my phone number back. And I'm glad I did, because today there was like a young dude that watches my stuff, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm liking how you're presenting like Bible stuff, because it's making me want to like study and learn more." So I got to talk to this guy in the chat for probably about a good 5 minutes. So I guess there's something to do in TikTok as well.
Yes, man. There sure is. David Marino says Dondeez in Spanish means where is it?
Where is it? It's right here, baby.
David. Greetings, my bro. Greetings. Welcome on. Jesus, yes, absolutely. Jesus pointed out that it was a tragic loss for us to lose Spencer. Indeed, my friend. Indeed. Yeah, absolutely. So Don, now, man, so you're on TikTok, you got your IG rocking, you're putting out YouTube stuff. You started a podcast, Urban Legends.
Urban Prophets Podcast.
Prophets Podcast.
Also with Elder Timey there.
Yeah. We're doing some fun things on there. And you do like a prayer thing every single day.
Yes.
On IG and Facebook.
Yeah. IG Live and Facebook Live. One right after the other.
How did you get into this? Because, I'm sure there's a ton of people out here who are like, man, I'd like to do that maybe one day. But you've got it like on all cylinders right now. How'd you get into this?
Well, COVID had a lot to do with that.
Right. COVID.
Because I was the only thing that I was doing actually once. So, okay, let me go back and then I'll make the story short. So when I was young, like in high school, I got into an acting class because I was almost done with high school and I needed one more class. So I wanted an easy A. So I had one friend and he's like, dude, I got it. Here's how we're going to get an easy A. We're going to go into this acting class because they don't expect us to be good at acting. They just want us to participate. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm down for the easy A. Easy A. And we got, dude. So we got into the class, and I had been doing this thing at my high school. It was kind of like these comedy skits for people's birthday in chapel. And one of my friends says to me, dude, have you ever thought of acting for real? And I said, really? Yeah, like I think you could really do it. And so I kind of started getting interested. Then I took this acting class, and the final was an actual play that we had to be in. And I was like, son of a, and it was this play called The Crucible. Anybody knows the Crucible?
Yes.
And they asked me to be, what's up? Wow, this guy has really never done that before,
Yo,
ever. Till
that's
right now.
that's how well known his stuff is. The UPS guy's like,
telling
dude,
you.
dude.
He's like, I love you, man. So I had to be in that play, and I was this character, John Proctor, who was like the main dude of the play. And I'm like, I'm not trying to act. Why are you making me the main guy of the play? And I did it, and the way that people reacted to the play, I was like, wow, they like really are into this. And so I liked it. So I went to college, I started doing that. And the first play I did in college was a Shakespeare play called Othello, and they needed a black dude. So I was Othello. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to like dip my toe in and get used to this, but y'all be throwing me into the main acting. And I started liking it from there, man. And so I just got into that, and I wanted to do ministry, but I always wanted to do it with acting and like entertainment flair and that kind of stuff. So even when we were in school and we would go do programs, I would write skits and all of that. And when I got older, like ready to make a career and have life and do all vocation and everything, I thought, man, I got to find a way to use these acting skills and entertainment skills for the gospel. And so I said, dude, I'm going to be on YouTube. I'm going to do it on YouTube. So I got my degree so I could have good, knowledge-based content, and, not just a bunch of, the same thing over and over with no substance to it. And ever since I got my MDiv, man, I was like, dude, this is what I want to do with it. If I ever get a PhD, it's going to be in entertainment evangelism.
Ooh.
So we'll see if that's down the pipeline. But yeah, so that's how I got into this, man. And
for any of you watching along, I'm hanging out with @Dondeez, and we're talking about social media content. We're also talking about ministry and life. And I just want to point out, for those of you who are like, I don't know, man, I love the Lord, I want to do ministry, but I love acting, or I love the arts, and I just don't know if there's room for the arts in ministry. Well, here's your answer. Yes, it is. Donovan is just sharing how both of those things work together. God puts gifts on you to use them for God. So use them, right? Don.
Use them.
Yo, yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely room in the kingdom work for you, no matter what your calling is, no matter what you're good at, no matter what gift God has given you, it's to be used for him.
Oh yeah.
So back to the social media content stuff. How do you wrap your mind around getting so much stuff out there? Like you're just putting it out, man.
So believe it or not, I'm filtering. Like I have that's the thing. When God gives you a gift, he gives it to you in abundance. That's the awesome thing about it. So my brain is always going constantly with creative ideas, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this. If COVID wasn't present, I'd probably have more stuff going on with other actors, because I would
don't mind me just
storylines and skits and full-on series on YouTube and all that stuff together. But because of what's happening right now, I'm doing everything myself. So like any of my YouTube videos that anybody sees, I'm the only one in there, and it'd be sometimes like 4 or 5 people. And I'm not doing that because I want to. I can't. There's no one else around. But yeah, man. To answer the question, God just gives me these ideas, and I just put them out, and
I love them, man. You have some good ones up in here, man. I'm gonna show a couple here and see if see how they hit. But I love it. Here's one here.
Cash Money Records taking over for the 9-9. You're working with some bad game. You're sad.
Now these are actually considered reels, right?
Yeah. They're like short 15-minute, 15-second clips. Yeah.
This one has a little tag on it. When you pray before Bible study, and then and then Scripture becoming live. Yeah. Oh man, that's good. That's good. I want to throw up one more. I saw one on here. It was hilarious, man. I think it's the one about kids. This one is how dudes react to. Oh wait, no. That's not the one.
Cash money,
Hold on, don't be
records
putting
taking
no
over.
crazy stuff up here.
No, you got one about kids. It's funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
You said, let me see. Oh, this one. When you wake up for a quiet moment in the morning, but then you hear your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are called reels.
Reels, bro.
Reels.
Yeah.
Give us 3 tips on how someone can do a reel. Like, what's your quick process and how to get this out and ugly?
Okay, so the thing that I do, the thing that inspires me is the audio. So you can use any audio that you hear on there, that whoever created something, whatever the audio is on there, if they allow you to use it, you can actually take the audio from their video and make your own video out of it. So for reels, I always get inspired by the audio that I hear. Like I have one on there I got 2 on there about the Holy Spirit. If anybody ever goes and checks those out, I heard the audio from those things first, and then the idea came after me hearing the audio. And it's crazy because the audio doesn't have nothing to do with what I turned it into, which is kind of the beauty of the whole thing, you know? So yeah, I always start with the audio, and then whatever idea comes out on there. Like I got this, there's like 4 of them. It's called the Sunday service experience, like going to one of Kanye West's Sunday service. So I'm just like like as if I was a person who was in there, and it's all my reactions to them. But all of the audio is real audio from the various songs that the choir is singing and stuff like that. So
do you just video as you go, or do you like?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you just sit up there and you put the video. It's a little process. You got to kind of figure it out, because if you want to do like different takes and cuts, you can, but you have to stop the video and do a new angle and keep pressing and stuff. So it takes a minute to learn. Like it's good to fool around, but if you have good ideas and you just take the time to play with it a little bit, it can be real fun, real effective. 15 second service.
So I got a phone. I want to put out a quick little video. I like the ones you do where you're like 2 or 3 people, and you're like you're talking, and then one person's like, "What?"
Yeah.
Walk us through that process. If I want to make a quick one, let's say let's do a quick one.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you have some experience in life that was like a struggle. Like, maybe you had money and you were supposed to spend it on one thing, and then you spent it on something else impulsively, and then you're like, dang God, but I really need money for this other thing. Now, in your mind, that's a stupid thing. You never should have messed up in the first place, because you knew you had to use the money for that thing. So now you got an idea of you talking to God, asking God to give you this money, but you get to be creative because you can do film and you can do all this stuff. So you can actually turn what you would have prayed into like a 1-minute video. So one character's God, one character's you, and you're like, God, please. And then God actually sits there and answers you. It's kind of like that old skit where that guy's praying the Lord's Prayer, and then God comes in and hears him. He's like, yes. So it's like,
and you're just doing both parts
stuff like that. You're just doing both parts, man. You shoot them, separately. From
the inception of the video to the final product that you post out into like social media, how much time would you say on average you'd spend on putting one out?
Well, if it's a short video, like the 1-minute videos, I could probably do the whole thing in maybe like a day and a half. That's like getting the idea. I write scripts out so I can keep track of stuff. You get your wardrobe and stuff together, your lighting, if you have that stuff, and then editing. So I do everything. So about a day and a half, I can get everything.
A day and a half
for a 1-minute video.
For a 1-minute video. For those of you who've never put out any kind of video, but you like to consume them, just be thankful for the people who do it, because it takes a lot of time. Lots of time. And then you got to consider if the person who's putting it out's got kids, they got to deal with their kids.
Oh, my
and
goodness.
all of us got full-time jobs that we keep up with as well. So, all this stuff coming out, it takes a lot of work. But you can do it if you want to do it. If you want to put out stuff, you can definitely do it. You can definitely get it done.
Definitely do it. Yeah,
what is one of your favorite projects that you've worked on so far?
I've been liking the shorter projects because it's less editing. but also because of the content. Like I've been doing recently a lot of content that has to do with social justice issues,
Yeah.
especially the Black experience, and I've liked it because it's a creative way to get out some rather serious messages that you want people to think. So I did one last week called "Protect Black Women," and some people don't even know that that's a thing. You
Yeah,
know,
let's talk about that a little bit, Dondeez.
yeah. Okay. So yeah. So um, there's this clip from Malcolm X where he talks about how Black women are the least valued people in American society, and there's been pushes and discussions within the Black community about how Black women are always protecting Black men and trying to uplift them, but it doesn't always get reciprocated. So even within the Black culture, the women are not even as valued as much as they are, when in all actuality every man came from a woman. We all got nurtured and raised by our mothers,
Ooh.
you know, or the majority of us, and yet to disrespect or to disregard that woman is just really a low form of life and living. And
A little
so
Tupac right there.
within the culture, yeah, man, that's right, dear mama.
That's right.
But like for example, in pop culture, if anybody ever knows the musical artist Meg Thee Stallion, there was this whole story where she got shot in the foot by this other artist, this guy Tory Lanez, and she was quiet. She didn't snitch on him or whatever, you know, to try to protect him because she knows how Black men get treated by the police and all of that. But then people in his entourage of people or his camp or whatever, they were talking trash about her. And you know, it's just so frustrating because you're like, man, this lady is actually risking herself. She's actually gotten shot, and she's being quiet about getting justice and getting the thing taken care of because she cares and is trying to protect this man who's, you know, in her culture, it's a Black man, so she wants to protect him. But then she doesn't get that reciprocated to her, and that happens so often that people are like, look, man, we got to stop that. That's just nonsense. We need to respect and uplift these women that have been the pillars of our community and just valuable jewels for ages and ages. We have to get to where we're doing that. So even within the Black community, there's an awareness of justice and equality and value that is rising up, even amidst how it's happening within, you know, the broader culture and society. So yeah.
Phenomenal, man. Wow. So what was the center of your message in that video that you made?
Oh, so in that message, it was it's like a 1-minute documentary. This guy's name is Wendell, and he's talking about how whenever he gets a message, he just sticks with the message, like relentlessly just pushing out that message to make sure that everybody knows it, and is so because he's so persistent, everybody will follow and do what he says. So his message is just literally protect Black women, and he goes to find this homeless guy on the street and he makes him spread it around the streets in the homeless community. He's got a musician friend, though he makes this song with him. So he's just really adamant about, he's like, you get one message, you stick to that message, you push that message until your dying day, and that's your cause in life, you know.
Hey, message received, peoples. Protect our Black women.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Sir.
Now, are you homeless? Because you look like you're on the street. So
I am on the streets right now.
Yeah.
But I am not.
No
homeless.
judgment. No judgment.
You look just to the side over here. There is a home that I do live in.
That you do? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Something else happening today. Today is National Voter Registration Day, right?
Yes.
And so this is our way
please.
Yes, this is our way of celebrating and trying to bring awareness to people to get out and vote. So get out and vote. Let's talk a little bit about that today. Our church, the Seventh-day Adventist Church, has actually had a pretty good history of encouraging people to vote. Now, once we get past that, it gets a little bit obscure, and there are people who want us to stay silent about this kind, about the rest of the playing field. But when it comes to voting itself, it has historically been upheld in our church, and we've wanted people to get out and vote. By the way, if you're watching, get out and register to vote. Please, today is voter registration day. In one of the books of temperance, page 253, our prolific writer Ellen Gould White writes, in our favored land, because we all come from different lands, every voter has some voice in determining what laws shall control the nation. Should not that influence and that vote be cast on the side of temperance and virtue? And then again, written in the Review and Herald back in 1865, there's put out there by one of the writers: when exercise in behalf of justice, humanity, and right is in itself blameless and may be at some times highly proper, but that the casting of any vote that shall strengthen the cause of such crimes as intemperance, insurrection, and slavery we regard as highly criminal in the sight of heaven. But we would deprecate any participation in the spirit of party of strife. However, also in our history, individuals have tried to bar the conversation, for different reasons. It's probably a little bit more complicated than one simple, clear-cut reason. But as one of the guys, David Hewitt, writes back in 1856, he says, "My brethren, shall we spend our time in political campaigns when we," as he continues to write, "when we so soon expect Christ in all glory of his Father and all the holy angels with him, when he shall sit upon the throne of his glory." Review and Herald, September 11. And his point was this: look, Jesus is coming. We don't have time to mess around with the politics of this world. That's a low priority when our priority should be heaven. This is 1856. Mind you, women weren't allowed to vote until 1919, 1920. So if in his height, right, think about this gentleman, in his sight, he's like, look, Jesus is coming soon. We ain't got time to vote. Which, if we followed in his footsteps and in his instructions, we probably didn't have much to say then about women's rights to vote. So consider that. That's a huge shortcoming on our half if we're not getting out there and putting our voice in. Women's rights were approved. That amendment may have taken place in spite of all of us being quiet about it, and now many of our women in all of our women in our denomination gets to vote. And so it's important, even if Jesus is coming very soon. It's important. How can we help our peoples over the hump of being afraid to vote? And I don't even know. There's probably a ton of reasons why people don't want to vote. Maybe they're scared. Maybe it's overwhelming. Maybe they've never done it before. Maybe they're afraid of strife. But how do you suppose we can help our peoples over the hump of being afraid to vote?
I don't know. For most things, a discussion and the experience. The biggest thing, I think, with anything that's like something that you're unfamiliar. A lot of times we're afraid of things because we're unfamiliar with it, right? We don't know about it. And and at least for me, what usually happens is when I start to do something, like all the social media stuff, for example, before I ever got into it, I'm like, oh man, I don't know how I'm ever gonna get into that world. Like, how is that gonna happen, right? But once you do something, then you get to understand it. You become more familiar with it, and you see its value, and it becomes less of a foreign, unfamiliar thing, and that helps to really get someone in the mindset where they feel empowered to now do this as a regular practice. You know what I'm saying? And so I think one of the things as a church is that we've got to get to the point where we're engaging, because of the way the church is set up. It really depends on who leads the charge in that, you know?
Right.
So it's got to be the people that are the trusted figures, you know, the spiritual leaders, the pillars of the church. If those are the people that are willing to, you know, be the brave ones to take that first step, or even if they, maybe if they're, you know, it could be that they're older and they just can't get out like that.
Yeah.
But if they can share the wisdom that they find from that experience, then the rest of us can gain from that knowledge and be motivated to act, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all about that.
If you happen to be watching along,
and then after, yeah.
If you happen to be watching along, I'm with Dondeez, and we're talking about a multitude of things. Right now, we're talking about voter registration and getting out to vote. If you happen to be a pastor, encourage your people to go and vote. If you happen to be somebody who's just watching along, get out and vote. This is something you don't have to be embarrassed about or talk quietly about. You know, this is something that at least as a denomination, we support. We want people to get out and to vote and to help make some good decisions that will help guide our country. Even if Jesus is coming back in a month or 2 months, for us to do our civic duty towards rightness and goodness is a responsibility we all have. So, okay, Donovan. So yeah, you made some great points about voting. We're going to start a campaign. Actually, I've been working really closely with the Religious Liberties Department here in our conference, and our vice president really wants to get this going. We're going to start pushing it out and trying to get more of our churches gathered together so that we can really get people involved in it. But say you're a young person and you are kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, does my vote even matter? Or you know, what should I do with myself? How do you respond to our young people out there?
Well, in the last election, some places the deciding factor was literally like 100 to 200 people. Where that was the difference. And that's not to tell you how you should vote, but that's just to say, listen, if there were 200 people who thought, you know, my vote doesn't count, that is actually an influential difference that could have happened in the election. You know, it either would have put, you know, the candidate that is now President Trump 200 more, or it may have evened the playing field between the two candidates. But those 200 or so people would have made an extreme difference in the way things turned out. And so it is very much a deciding action, and it is an action that does influence not only how you as an individual feel from engaging in that, but also the trajectory of what's going to be happening in life for those next 4 years following those various decisions. And you know, when we're talking about voting, there's a lot of different levels on which we need to vote locally. Things that you know, all the local city officials and those things, those are also things that have to be voted on, and those will even more directly affect our lives. So if you're young and you're just starting to get into the experience of the world, getting out on your own, kind of getting your independence, these things are going to be highly effective for your life if you are part of the process, you know?
Interesting, man. Interesting view you pointed out there, especially as we have had to deal with the electorate versus popular votes, right? But that's a whole different topic for a whole different long conversation on how votes are counted and how fair that all breaks down to be. But you know, as you were saying, yeah, there is a real importance of getting out there, and I think, bro, like there's something special about you just putting a vote in and creating a sense of confidence about your voice and having courage to do that one thing, because that always leads to something else, right? We don't start dunking the basketball. We start with a layup. And until you know how you can make a layup, you might not know you can do that dunk. So
yeah.
Hey, so earlier in the article that I read out from Review and Herald, as I mentioned, our denomination encourages us to get out and vote. And at the end of that quote on temperance, page 253, should not that influence that vote can cast on the side of temperance and virtue? Temperance and virtue being a real emphasis here, man. What do you suppose that means in today's context? What does that look like, temperance and virtue?
Man, it's, I think it has to do with us kind of making a decision on when do we stand up for what is right versus kind of hanging on some of the more traditional philosophies on how people in the church or the church at large is involved in society, because I think it has to do a lot, when you talk about temperance and virtue, these are things that are talking about how do we govern our lives? How do we actively shape our lives for the better? Or how do we actively, stay diligent and carrying the scriptures and the values that we've been taught with integrity? How do we do those things? And when it comes to something like voting, getting involved in, what's happening socially in the world, you can view it as getting involved in politics as one thing, or you can view it as this is us doing our earnest duty to properly represent the name of Christ in the world.
Ooh.
Right? Nobody's ever thought
Man, I hope somebody's
voting.
listening to that. That was a word.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, nobody's ever thought of voting as witnessing.
Ooh.
If somebody were to say like, wow, this church really
Your vote is your witness.
seems to stand. Yeah, this church seems to stand for, things that are valuable to our community. Man, that's a place that I want to know, more about what's going on in their minds. Like, why are they so like this? Especially when churches and Christianity in general doesn't always seem to represent the loving, caring, standing up for the right part of it. It almost seems like the kind of what we see in the media in terms of Christianity specifically, we're always seem to be on the side that is more oppressive and controlling and exclusive.
Ooh, bro, that
not
dagger
inclusive
hurts.
or supportive and uplifting, so
You got me, man.
you got it. Yeah.
Why you gotta hurt me so bad? Whew.
Hey.
Ow,
I mean,
ow.
we did it to ourselves.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We did.
But
we did.
but it can be undone. It can be undone if we actively work towards that.
Fantastic, man. Hey, I am with Dondeez, and we're talking about all things good and right in the world. I've been going back with this dude a long ways. I'm really excited and thankful that he jumped on today so we could talk. If you happen to have any questions for Donovan, feel free to post it up here, and we'll talk. I saw Wilfred. Wilfred's on here. Wilfred said, "Hey, what's up, Wilfred, my man?" Now, Don, and the reason why I brought Wilfred up is because you two have a common ground. I don't know if you know Will Montalvo. Do you know Will, Pastor Will?
I gotta see his face right now.
Yeah,
but I can't see it. But
I don't know if he's still on, but Will, if you're on, man, just drop us another comment. So Wilfred, Pastor Will, is the pastor at the San Fernando Chapel, and my dude is actually a rapper. He kills it. Yo, man, he's poetic. He's good. But I'm sure he didn't know that one of your gifts is actually rapping as well. Not only do you preach, not only do you put out a lot of videos, but you can throw down with some poetic wording, my friends. So I do want to ask you if you can do one for us. If you've got a bit, if you got a freestyle in your head that you wanna bring it, I'd love for us to hear it today. But before you do that, Deez, I want to ask, what are you doing in your local church alongside your senior pastor that is promoting voting and getting out for your members? How are you guys doing that in your local context?
Yeah, well, the tricky thing right now is because of COVID, we're not able to really be too active.
Yeah.
And we're a church that is probably about 3/4 commuter.
Got it.
And so it's hard to kind of get active. But what we do is we have a food bank every week. And so at the food bank, those are the opportunities to really connect with the community. I know what we're trying to do right now is actually work with somebody that's doing the census and making sure that everybody that's in our area is counted, so that when whatever laws get made and voted, they do have a good sense of the amount of people and the demographics that are in our area, so that proper, treatment and funds and whatever can be allotted in that way. So I know that's one thing that we're doing right now.
Nice.
And another thing that we want to do is try to use that as a space to help people get registered to vote, because we got a pretty steady stream of people that come through to the food bank each week.
So you guys would be willing, you guys are willing to have a voting center there on your campus?
Yeah, we can figure out the dynamics of it, what we need to do. Yeah,
that's awesome. We'll talk more about that as we roll closer to the time when that's needed. But I also want you, if you're watching along, we'll be working with our Religious Liberties Department here in the VP. We're going to try to push it out. If you are able to host something like that, we want to get it around to you too as well. Hey, Jillian, welcome on, my girl. It is definitely good to see you. I miss Jillian when I don't hear her commenting.
She's a beast in the comments.
Absolutely. And Will, if you ever come back on, I'm going to give Will a shout out. I'm going to put him down on a challenge, man. I need a rap battle. It may not be this time, but I want to bring Will and you on, Dondeez, and I want a rap battle. I'm going to join the rap battle. Because you guys, you don't know, but I've got lyrics, man. I've got stuff nobody's ever heard of or want to hear of, and it's fire, baby. So
yeah, I don't doubt that.
That mess be burning people down.
Oh man.
Yo, okay, so give us a little something, man. You got a little something in you?
Yeah, sure. Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to
go.
That's right. See, I like to keep it interactive.
All right.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. No, I'll give you something.
I was gonna say that's a little plagiaristic.
Yeah, that's not even mine. That's somebody else's. Yeah, that would be stealing. That would be biting. That's copyright infringement right there. But here's a good one. Okay, here's one for you. Many are the plans of a man as he stands and he's making his plans, but his plans don't compare to the plans of the man who's more than a man. Got the whole world in his hand, turn the sea to dry land because he can. I am that I am is his name, and his name don't change because his name always stays the same. Got so much game, it's a shame, and you can claim on his name because his name is his claim to fame. His life is holy and blameless. I said all of that to say this. You need to get committed. Think about it for a minute. Your life, what you doing with it? The Lord wants to bless it if you give it. Stacking blessings up to the sky, and the sky ain't the limit. Even blessed me with a wife because I did it. Took away my pain, misery, and strife because I did it. Got a house full of blessings and dying to give it. And I know that it's true because I tried and I did it. And my life has been different as night and day. And if you come God's way, you can hear him say, I love you, Saranghe. I love you, Saranghe. I got something for you to do, so won't you come my way forever, young one he, forever, young one he. I want to bless your life, so won't you give it to me?
Oh, yo, you threw some Korean in there, or was that what was that? Latin?
Korean.
What was
that? Was Korean.
That was some Korean, mystic Irish old chanting language there, man.
Yeah, Donovan is an Irish name.
That was clean, man.
No, that was Korean, man. My wife would kill me if I don't misrepresent. That was Korean.
Yeah.
Young one. Yeah.
I liked it, man. I like it.
Yeah, man.
I'm about to throw down on this mic like my name was. Yeah.
Wow. Too much.
I almost said Ike, but I was like, nah,
not yet.
Not yet. Oh, man. Yo, that was fresh.
I can feel the flames.
That's that IE heat, bro. That's that IE heat right there.
That's right. The wind is blowing over here for you. Yeah.
Jillian, you're gonna have to get in on our rap battle. And I want to invite all of you watching along. We're gonna have a big rap circle, and we're gonna go crazy.
We're gonna have a cipher, guys. Rap cipher with everybody.
Okay, well, look, if you are just catching up with us, we're coming out to the end bit of our time together. I have been with at Dondeez. We talked about social media content, how to kick some of that stuff out there. If you're really interested in doing more of that, follow Don. He's got some good stuff, and DM him on how to get some of that stuff done. He's always willing. He's always down. He's always doing stuff. We talked about voter registration because it's a social current issue right now, and today is voter registration Day. We wanted to encourage you, empower you, and support you that yes, you can register to vote, and yes, you should vote. Go for it. Do it. We celebrate that as a peoples. We want you to get out there looking for something that is, what was the two words? Temperance and virtue. Temperate and virtue. Yes. Yeah. You mentioned the virtue of integrity, Donovan. Our vote is our witness. Ooh, somebody say amen up in this piece. Dang.
Come on.
I pray that your vote be your witness to the world of a loving and powerful Jesus. And we also got Donovan to rap. That was kind of cool. Thanks, Dondeez, for sharing another one of your gifts. Yeah. We are going to do Love One, Leave One now, Donovan. Are you prepared?
Yeah, as prepared as I can be. Will be. Yeah.
I want you to lean to your left just a touch. Perfect. Okay, now we are in scene together in the Love One, Leave One scene. I hope you're prepared. I've lined up a few things, and I want you to give us which one you love, and the other one that you leave will disappear from existence forever, never to be used by anyone again. So this is all on your shoulders, Donovan. Are you ready?
All right, everybody accept my rulings.
Yeah. All right, Dominion, king of logic and all things tangible. Ready? Set.
Yes.
Let's do this. Korean food or Thai food?
Korean food.
Ooh, Thai is gone for all of us. Comedy or adventure?
Comedy.
Ah, good man. Basketball or football? One's got to disappear forever.
Oh.
Ever.
I'm gonna keep football.
Oh, ouch! We need to stop right now. Okay. Rage Against the Machine or Busta Rhymes?
Oh, dog! How could you?
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was never gonna get a hard one. Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes. All right. Bye, Rage.
Hurt.
To do the LA Marathon or to start your PhD doctoral program?
Start my PhD doctoral program.
I figured. Goodbye running for everybody.
I don't care about running like that.
Be happy or be right?
Happy, for sure.
Oh, good. Okay. Pistachios or almonds? You too, Jillian, the football?
Oh, yeah, Jillian, let's go. I'm gonna go almonds.
Okay, well, all right. Pistachios are gone.
Yeah.
Fine, thanks.
Sorry, guys.
PB&J or deviled egg sandwiches?
Oh, ooh.
One's got to go forever, dude.
PB&J. I also love deviled eggs, but no, PB&J.
Boba or shaved ice?
Boba.
Oh, juice or soda?
Soda.
Ooh.
No, juice.
Your time is up, but I'm going to keep going. Jokic or Anthony Davis?
Jokic, man. I hate the Lakers.
You are the worst one ever.
Players all day, baby.
Jillian, I too would do pistachios as opposed to almonds, and you are both correct. PB&J is the correct answer because listen, it's just way easier to make for everyone and their mom.
Right.
That's just the way to go, man. Look, let's just keep our lives simple and straightforward. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining in on that. Okay, I've got the 3, 2, 1. I want you to do 3, 2, 1 with me. I'm going to give you something, and I want you to give me 3 tangible ways to fix it, 2 tangible ways to fix it, and 1 tangible thing to do. Okay? What three things can I do, or we do, or you do right now in this moment to up your streaming video game, not video game, but you know.
Yeah. One, start. If
Start.
you're not starting, you're not doing nothing. So start.
Boom.
A lot of people just get caught up on that. Second thing, be consistent. Even if you're only getting 3 views a video, keep being consistent. That's the only way more people are ever going to know it. And then if you're really serious, the third one is actually invest in some paid ads, because I did that on Instagram, but it was I used like $30 for ads, and they exposed me to between like 3,000 and 6,000 people. I could never do that just on my own strength. So, and that, over the course of a week. And that one little campaign was good. So, yeah, those are the 3 things I would say. Start, be consistent, and if you're serious, invest a little money.
Yo, those are good. Those are 3 really good, tangible ones. Thank you, Donovan. Very good, very good.
Yes,
okay.
Sir. Yes, sir.
What 2 things can you do to help your rapping game?
Oh, again, number 1, start, because the fear and all of that stuff's not going to go away. You just have to get used to doing it.
Right.
And 2, listen to other people, because they help you know how to think about using your words in that way. One of the best things I ever did was start watching rap battles online, and it actually turned out that I had one of my If I Were Jesus episodes on YouTube, where it's a rap battle Jesus. And
really?
Yeah.
All right. Can we find that on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's on my IG too.
So 1, start. 2,
listen to others. And learn their styles.
Phenomenal. Okay. And then finally, one thing you can do right now to get a vote this November.
Dude.
One thing they can do to step towards getting their vote in by November.
Yeah. Register.
Oh, got him, coach.
Register.
Got him.
Trust me, once you do that, they don't leave you alone. I got so many people texting me, calling me that I've never heard of before. Hey, this is Richard from San Francisco, and I heard you're registered. I'm like, yeah.
Now, what if someone has never registered in their life? What is the easiest, most accessible way for them to register? Can they just?
Yeah, you can literally go on Google.
Yeah.
And just say, how can I register? And like a bunch of websites will come up.
Phenomenal.
Let you know. You can check your status if you haven't registered. It will tell you your status if you think you are, but you're not sure. There's a website that helps you check your status, and then there's several that help you actually get registered to vote. And all the social media, it's like at the top.
True. It's on the top of your. If you're watching this on Facebook
that.
Live or you're catching it later on YouTube, it's up there. Yeah. Did you register already?
Yeah. I've been registered since the last election.
Sweet.
I was registered.
Cool.
Yeah. And I do the mail-in, so I'm hoping to get my thing pretty soon here in the beginning of October.
Phantasmo.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to play another quick game because we're getting close to the end of our time. Marry one, date one, ghost one. All right. I'm going to give you 3 options. One of these disappears from life forever. One you'd like to keep around occasionally, and one you'd like permanently. Okay, here we go. The NBA, the NFL, and the Olympics.
Oh, that's easy. I will marry the NFL.
I knew it.
I will date the NBA, and the Olympics can go away.
The globe hates you right now. Every country.
Yeah, we'll just have to find other ways to get along.
Yeah. It was so predictable. I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it around food, man. Let's unite around food.
That's true. We'll have a food Olympics.
Like a national food something.
Okay. Good flavor, good music, good exercise.
Good food. I am marrying for sure. Good flavor. I can date. I'm thinking I'm gonna get some of that when I get good food. Good exercise.
No. One is good flavor, good music, and good exercise.
Oh. I thought you said good food. Okay. Good flavor. I'll marry that. Good music. I'll date, and then good exercise. Peace. I'll die happy.
I'll die happy at the age of 40.
Yeah. This year. Yeah. I'll be dead.
Jillian says she would marry Olympics, and that would just throw off the universe in your
She
world.
wouldn't get to because it's already gone. It was gone the last question.
All right. Moses, Abraham, or John the Revelator?
Oh, I am going to marry John. I'm going to date Moses, Abraham, get the stepping. You tried to kill your son, man. What's wrong with you?
Oh, Father Abraham, you out,
Terrible
man.
step.
We're going to have to figure out a different way of how all of our religious family is going to grow up out of it.
Yeah, God can do it.
Yeah, he's got other ones.
God can do it. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna close out. It's 5 o'clock. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks Dondeez for rolling with us. As we close out today, I want to ask you 2 more questions, Donnie. Number one, where do you think the church can grow and do better when we're talking about injustice in our world today?
Man, I think it's going to be boots on the ground, local work, man. If you get to know your community, then you are really starting to get a sense of what is happening in the real world, and things will grow from there because you'll start to see life in a different way. If you're just kind of like, you just go to church and you have your perception of the outside world, man, you're really not getting in touch with the world around you. So you got to start local for me and get to know that community and then build from there.
Excellent. And finally, bro, could you inspire someone out there who might be watching this or catching this a little bit later, young adult who might be trying to get into social media, maybe just trying to figure their way out through the church, and has been looking for someone to speak to them? Can you do that for me?
Yeah, man. So you told me about this before, and I was trying to think about what I do. So there's something that I do on my Instagram every Monday. It's called Jams and Jewels, and it's just like a motivation thing to get you pumped for the week. So the one that we used this week was Proverbs 23:18. We used the Kirk Franklin song "Brighter Day," if you know that song.
Yeah.
And the verse says, "Your future is bright and filled with a living hope." And I loved that term, living hope. I think that is the key to everything. The only reason the future is bright is because the hope is a living hope. It's not a philosophy, it's not an idea, but it's a living, moving, breathing God that wants the best for you. It's a dynamic relationship where whatever is needed is provided in real time, right? If you need direction and clarity, that's what God provides to you. If you are needing drive and focus, that's what God provides to you. If you need time to figure out what your next move is going to be, that's what God will provide to you. And I think something that we are not taking advantage of is paying attention to our own experiences. What we don't understand all the time is that current and present experiences are training for future greatness.
Ooh.
And that's something that we've got to take a hold of, because that's what God's doing, shaping us into the person that we're going to be for the kingdom.
Yo,
so that's what y'all need to know, man.
Don't neglect your current situation. God is doing something in you for your future circumstances.
Oh yeah.
Ha! Thank you, Dondeez. That was a word indeed.
Man.
My friends, thank you so much for joining us here at Tuesday Tea Time. Next week, we're going to be rocking out with Lauren Laxon, the Director of Communications here at Southern California Conference. The week after that, we're going to have a married couple, Dr. Jamie Kalaswar. He's a beast, man. Him and his wife, they are amazing people. Carlene, they're going to share their experience, the pitfalls, the hopes, what relationships look like if you're just getting married, or if you're just married, or if you're just about to have kids. They've got a lot to share, so you're not going to miss out. That's in 2 weeks. But next week, we're going to be with Lauren Laxon. Thank you so much for joining us here at Tuesday Tea Time. From Dondeez and myself, we out. We'll catch you next week. God bless.